Congratulations, Coach, on the season and the championship. And my questions are about narratives. Nationally and maybe even regionally, there's this narrative that somehow SWAC football is more sexy, more attractive, and maybe even a better conference. And yet the MEAC is 6-1 in the Celebration Bowl. And talk about that, as well as another question I want to follow up with in terms of the are people sleeping on Black college football in the Carolinas? Because all those Celebration Bowl wins are from Carolina schools, whether it's North Carolina Central or A&T or South Carolina State.
Well, I'm really just about done talking about the comparison between the MEAC and the SWAC. I mean, we keep trying to have this conversation, and we kind of have to keep trying to show people how great we are and why we think that we're better than. I think the SWAC is an outstanding conference. I spent a lot of years down there between Grambling and Southern University. I have the utmost respect for them. But we play a different brand ball here in the MEAC. This is a more physical conference. Now, like you're saying, sexy is cool, but sexy is not winning you games. Sexy is when you throw the ball for 300 and some yards. Yes, that's sexy. All right, but we're physical. We're a blue collar conference. All right, you come in here and you can take any of the bottom 3 schools in this league, and you better bring your A game. Because one thing about it's gonna be physical. And I had Coach Hayes, the head coach at Fayetteville State. He came and spent some time at practice before the bowl game. And he was looking at me, he was like, Coach, y'all hit like this in practice, getting ready for the game? And I'm like, Coach, we gotta get ready. And it was a couple shots out there at practice. I had to kind of blow the period up because the guys were getting a little too aggressive, too physical. But that's who we are here. That's who we are. I'm not on Twitter, on Instagram, and TikTok and doing all this stuff, talking about everything else. We in the weight room. We practicing around here. And it showed. It showed. We were dominant up front. We controlled that game from start to finish on both sides of the line. Defensive line got after them. Our offensive line got after them. You know, the Carolinas, I think, have a lot of talent. And I think South Carolina probably has better O-line, D-line play. I believe as far as talking about the recruiting process, we just got, as a matter of fact, 2 commitments that we're going to sign Wednesday, 2 more offensive linemen from South Carolina. They have some really good big guys in South Carolina. And then the skill positions here in state are outstanding. So we don't think that we need to go all the way to Florida or Texas to get players. We don't have to go to California to get players. We have a gas tank philosophy. We can find usually what we want within a 5-hour radius. But it is ironic that the Celebration Bowl is going to be, you know, between North Carolina and South Carolina.
My next question is, in terms of the progress that you've been able to make since you were first hired, would you have thought that within 4 years you'd be hoisting this hardware?
Definitely. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but you know, again, that's why they brought me here. And I've had an opportunity to run a lot of championships. And that's why we play the game. You know, there's no sense in coming to work, putting all these hours in to, you know, to work to come in second. You know, we work every day around here to be a champion. And that's what it's all about. You know, we're not going to practice enough and say, oh yeah, we're good, we have a winning season. That's not it. That's not it. I'm not gonna work all these hours to try to work to have a good team. No. For me to do it, whatever I'm gonna try to do, I'm gonna try to win, be a champion at it. So that, you know, and it has been a process. You know, I was talking to somebody the other day, and, you know, it's just a blessing for us to do this. And I only have one person on my staff from 2019, my original staff, and that's my strength coach, TC. I've had so much turnover from video coordinators, equipment, both coordinators, every position. Everybody on here nobody here was here when I first got here in 19, except for my strength coach. But the guys brought in, and we had some really good coaches, and I can't say enough about them. And, you know, for us to have guys in here that can keep this thing going is a blessing. And I don't have to micromanage. You know, I can be a head coach. Before, I kind of felt like I had to have my hand in this and have my hand in that. And, you know, coach, you don't have to micromanage. Well, I got to micromanage if I don't trust people. So, I got people here I can trust. I don't have to look on anybody's shoulders. I know guys are going to get their work done. I can just be a head coach. And like I said, I don't call plays. You know, I did call the fake punt. That was my only little call that I had Saturday. But, you know, I don't call plays. I let Coach Cord, my defensive coordinator, I let him work. He'll bounce some things off my head and then we'll, you know, go exchange ideas. But it's a blessing to have a staff that you don't have to micromanage and hold their hand.
And my last question, you've been around this program for a long time as a player, as a coach, and you've seen it all and done it all in Black college football. Is this the best North Carolina Central team ever?
Ooh, you gonna get me in trouble, man.
That's
I
why
had all these former players, cheering and rooting us on down there. They're gonna have a lot to say about that. This team was different. And I don't think it's not the most talented team because we're still young. We're so young right now that, you know, they haven't even scratched the surface yet. But the team chemistry, the continuity, the love that these guys have for each other, it's so genuine. And it's different. As far as that standpoint, this is probably the best team that I've been around. But we've had some horses, some really good players come through here. So I know the Greg Pruitts and the Toy Rosses and all these other folks that came through here got a little something to say about that.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.